All right, we should be good. I'll just double check Facebook.
Hey.
Okay, we're good. We're all set. Okay. Excellent. Okay, well, we will go ahead and get started, and some people will join us as we're chatting and as I'm doing my introduction. But good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our network welcome, our Westy Live. I'm Jamie Chavez. I'm the president and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and every Wednesday we bring to you a live broadcast featuring one of our newest chamber members to introduce them and give them a chance to talk to you about their business. If you're new to the broadcast, thank you for being here today. We appreciate it. I encourage you to like our Facebook page, and then you'll receive notifications for when we go live in the future. If you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe, and we've got years worth of broadcasts that you could watch too as you're inclined on that page as well. We also offer broadcasts on Mondays, which are dedicated to city updates from our mayor pro tem, other city councilors, and then a variety of other city officials as well. So it's your backstage pass into what's going on down at City Hall. So I hope that you will join us for those as well. And then we also reserve one day a month for a county commissioner from Jefferson County, Commissioner Rachel Zenzinger, and then Adams County Commissioner Steve Odoricio. So stay tuned for those broadcasts as well to be informed on broader county matters. As you watch this broadcast this morning, please feel free to engage with us. We would love to chat with you. Drop your comments or questions, or just say hello in the comments section. We'll get to those during the interview. And now a warm welcome to Amy and Greg with a touch of magic and poetry. And you guys are not particularly new members. You've been around for a while now, but we just haven't scheduled your broadcast, or I think we had to cancel once. And so I'm glad that to have you on with me today. How are you guys?
We're doing great. It's a nice rainy day, so everything's getting watered, so that's really nice and poetic.
Yeah. I'm so excited because once the sun comes out and it dries up, everything's just going to be super green.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for joining us. And Parker's here with us too. Good morning, Parker. Thanks for being on today. Well, I'm just going to turn it over to the two of you to talk about your business and tell us what you do.
Absolutely. Do you want to go first?
Okay. I'll go first. My name is Greg Tobo, and I am a professional magician. I do magic at events. They can be corporate events or social events, and perform magic also for children. So when I do my work as a magician, sometimes I perform my shows from the stage. If it's a big if it's a big dinner, very often I'm the after dinner entertainer. But I can also do the magic up close. So I'll roam around during the cocktail hour and show people something amazing, get the party started, get people talking and having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen you perform a couple times. Let's see, you were at the Taste of Westminster last November and doing some magic there, and the people really enjoyed that. So that was good to have you there for that event.
And I am improv poet Amy, and what I do is poems created on the spot. And I know what is happening really soon is Mother's Day, and I still have some availability. So if you want to make, it's like a poetrygram, so it's like a singing telegram, but a lot more personal. And I've literally had people frequently so happy they're crying. Because it's just really touching, but it's also fun and funny. So if you're looking for something for your mother for Mother's Day, call sooner rather than later. And then also I do poetrygrams for birthdays and graduations. It's either in person or I've also done it virtually. I was just telling Jamie before we went live that I'm going to be doing something for someone in India. Actually, her fiance is in New Brunswick. So it's a long distance relationship, but it's very sweet. So
that's awesome.
Oh, thank you. And then also at events, sometimes we work together as well. I roam around and I do poems created on the spot for, smaller groups or also at fundraisers, I've done it from the podium to inspire people to give, or I can also inspire people about your company. So that is what I do, poems created on the spot, and also improv workshops. So anything to do with improv or poetry.
Great.
My part of A Touch of Magic and Poetry.
So I'm just interested in the story behind A Touch of Magic and Poetry. How did you get started? Did you meet doing this? Did you decide to do this together and combine magic and poetry? What's the story here?
Okay, I guess it's a story of us. We are together, and I guess we'll go into the street performing.
Yeah. So Amy and I met. We were both interested in the idea of performing magic on the street as street performers, and so we went out together and kind of started supporting each other. It's very difficult to perform on the street, so we were there to give each other advice and to help each other. Help each other improve our performances.
Because there's two different types of street performing. And I've done like walk by where people just come up and get a poem, but this is different. And I literally went to a magic street performing school for like a week, and then wound up joining the magic club. And then I was working on a big show. See, like when people come up and walk up to you, that's really easy because they're probably not going to leave, because that's a really not nice thing to do. And, it's an interaction and it's fun. But it's very personal, and same thing if you're doing like walk up magic. But this is called a circle show. And so people, like, you have to get a big group, and they're not as personally attached because they're part of a big group, who sometimes can find out, oh, I've got dinner reservations. And then you have this big group and you're so excited. And then a few people, it's called peeling, leave, and then mothers leave. And so we got to know each other a lot better, supporting each other because when you first start a big circle show, you're not going to be good. Which is very different. Like, we've been performers for years, and in the theater, people love us. Like, I have a show that I toured coast to coast in the US and Canada. It was like the top attended drama at almost every festival I've been to. I've been brought to conferences. People love it. They're grateful. But on the street, like, they're not committed. So anything can, and it might have absolutely nothing to do with you. It might be this reservation they've waited for, they set up a month ago. It's like, oh, let's watch them for a second. But when they leave, it gives permission for other people to go to their. So anyway, so we supported each other that way, and we cried together even. And then we slowly realized, after months and months of being friends, that we actually really liked each other. And so we
became life partners and then business partners.
Exactly.
Awesome. That's so great. So how long have you had your business then?
Well, individually, we've had it for a long time. Like A Touch of Magic and Poetry, it's just a lot more recent, just like a few years. So.
Okay, perfect.
But I've been doing magic as my profession for 17 years now.
Okay.
And I've been doing poetry as my profession for 11 years. So, yeah.
And Amy, I think I heard you talking about this once, that you've got some like national credential. Am I getting this right? Or maybe it's Greg, one of you has or maybe it's an award or something. Am I making this up?
For poetry?
Just in your industry?
In my industry, I was the highest. We've both had some accolades. Like, I was the highest attended drama. And then also, like, at the Edmonton Fringe Festival, I was awarded an extension, which is very rare, especially for a drama. Like, let's just try, So, gosh, I think I do. I don't know. I don't like. Your
Santa named you the North Pole poet.
Right, of course. How could I forget? I didn't forget that you were saying awards, and it's just something I'm very grateful about. Santa found out what I was doing, and one morning I woke up. This is before I knew Greg really at all, and but not that Santa would still be happy, and Santa actually is still happy. But I woke up and I found a letter by the fireplace. that invited me to the North Pole. And then I took a sleigh ride. It was just under 5 minutes because it's Santa's sleigh up to the North Pole. And I performed my poems created on the spot for all the elves and Santa and Mrs. Claus and the reindeer. And they voted me as the North Pole Poet Laureate.
Oh, that's so cool. That's a great story.
I'm super grateful because, it's Santa. So I represent Santa between here and the North Pole in the holidays. So
yeah, that's a big deal. Awesome. So what do you think makes live entertainment, in particular magic and poetry, so powerful in today's world where we're all just surrounded by screens and digital distractions all the time?
Well, I can say, because I see Amy work all the time. When she does her poetry grams, it really becomes an opportunity for people to celebrate someone in their lives and for them to just kind of speak from the heart and talk about why this person is important to them and what they admire about them. And Amy's going to work that all into a poem, but the bigger experience is that people really get a chance to connect, I think.
And I invite people to interact as well. And then when Greg does his magic, it's not just you're watching him, and like some magicians use people as props, but he really has the human connection, which you can't necessarily get if you're scrolling, because there's no invitation to really interact, just like and subscribe, which is kind of an interaction, but it's not like a two-way thing, unless maybe you bump into Mr. Beast who's like, if you subscribe, I have, okay, here's $1 million, but so we have give people the opportunity to be present in the moment, in here and now.
Awesome. So what's your favorite part of performing? Do you have like a signature moment or act that always wows the crowd, or what keeps you guys doing this?
Yeah. For me, performing magic, it's that moment of astonishment that people can experience. People always ask me afterwards. They'll say, "Well, will you tell me how you did it?" And I always say, my job is to try and send you home with a little piece of mystery, something that, and if I tell you the secret, the mystery's going to go away. So I want people to have that experience of just coming up against a moment where you're like, I don't know what happened.
And when Greg has people performs for people, a lot of times he gets this, people stand up and like make a circle and like, oh my God, and then stick it down. So it's really awesome to watch. So what I love is making a difference and making people feel heard, whether it's with a really fun interaction or just making them feel like they matter. One of the poetry grams I did virtually was with these kids, adult kids, whose parents were playing the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, but to the point, I think their garage was filled because there's this promise that if you keep playing, you might get the millions of dollars, and they were just like going into debt. And so I did a poetry gram telling them that that their kids were going to take care of them for the rest of their lives, so they didn't have to keep playing the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, and like things like that. Just people realize that they're awesome, and also getting people laughing. It's about being human. I think that what we do reminds people you're human. Like, life's awesome. Or if it's not, like sometimes I do poems for people who've just broken up, and I ask them, so what would you like to see? I understand, you have to grieve, but what would you like to see in your future partner? What did the other person not have that you'd like to see in someone in the future? And just like to put positive stuff in. Because yes, it's awful. It's going to hurt, but it can be an opportunity. So giving people hope too, or just making them laugh. Like when I do poems about dogs, I have people go, or like horses. I'm not very good at it. There are a lot of times better, but that's fine. I have people do animal noises, adults too, because I give adults permission to play. It just depends on what the person wants is what I do. So.
That's awesome. So who's your favorite audience? Is it kids, adults? Do you have like a favorite events, corporate events, community events? What's your favorite way to perform?
I like performing for, I know they say when you perform for everyone, if your audience, everyone, so on, but I like people who want to play, people who want to just be present, which is most people, but I just like the interaction, be it fun, be it, hopeful, whatever. I like the interaction, the energy exchange of like, let's do this. So I don't really have like a favorite audience. So.
Yeah, for me, I think my favorite is performing for grown-up audiences, because I think as grown-ups we start to feel like we've got everything figured out, and so I think it's more powerful when I perform for a grown-up audience, the reactions when they see something that they can't explain. Kids audiences though are a lot of fun for a different reason. It's just because kids bring so much energy and enthusiasm to the show. They're, if you ask for a volunteer, they're all jumping out of their seats. Oh, pick me.
You ask for a volunteer, you have to be careful how you ask for volunteer. You can get them to volunteer with adult audiences, but you have to be careful, because you just kind of volunteer them as opposed to ask if you'd like to come up. So yeah. And Greg also, he didn't mention, he does balloon animals and dad jokes with the balloon animals.
Oh, awesome. So you're probably great for like a kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
As a children's entertainer, it's very different than the magic that I do for grown-ups. But because when I perform for kids, they just want to play and have fun. And so the magic actually kind of takes a back seat to the silliness and the goofiness that I bring when I perform for children.
So a lot of times he'll do the show and then he'll do balloons afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, did we mention conventions?
Oh, conventions. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, really, before we go to conventions, I think just on the topic of kids, I think one big difference probably is adults are skeptical. They're like, how did you do that? I want to know what, like, they like it, but they know that, how they want to figure it out. And kids just still believe in magic, and so that's probably really special to get to see those kids and be a part of that experience.
Yeah.
Okay, conventions. Sorry.
So we both do conventions. So like I just did something at the Colorado Convention Center where I just did poems for all the guests at this particular convention. It was a convention of cine planners from around, I think, the US and Canada.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was very fun. And Greg does conventions as well in that way, and also to get people to the booth. Because a lot of times you've got this booth and you've paid a lot for the booth, and you could just do a little wheel thing, but everyone does a wheel thing. You could do Jolly Ranchers, but everyone does Jolly Ranchers. Or you could have somebody outside saying, hey, let me show you something, and then hand you off to the people who want to talk with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys have a most memorable moment that you've had during a performance?
There's so many. Let's see. I guess I would have to go to the most recent, because every time you do it, you hope to really touch people. And so I don't know if you mentioned, we just did a bachelor party together in Breckenridge. The kind of bachelor parties, not what you might think of a bachelor party, is when people bring us if they don't want that type of bachelor party. Yeah. And so, He was a huge Star Wars fan, so I did the science fiction princess and just did that interaction that way, and it was very fun. And they're like, "Oh my god!" And he said, "I thought you were," because when he was making the plans, his friend, they were in the car, and his friend was in the car. And so I had to talk in code. I'm like, can you hear me? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, so package 1 is the magician, is the poetrygram. Package 2 is just the magician. Package 3 is the magician and the poetrygram. And package 4 is an improv workshop. And then he goes, and I never have to talk in code because normally people leave, but they're driving, so we can't just leave the car, And so he goes, and I'm talking to him for a while. He goes, I'll go for package 3. And his friend's thinking that he's doing the typical bachelor party thing, which he did not want.
Right.
And then we did it, but they were just so excited. We were able to be like their personal entertainment, and they were just like playing along with like the poetrygram, and they were playing along with the magic. So it's almost like the most recent one is almost always my favorite, most memorable, because it's the one I just did. And I love what happened at that particular one. I love what happened to the ones before, but then I get to do this. So.
Awesome. Greg, how about you? Do you have a most memorable or one that you want to talk to us about?
Yeah, again, maybe just because it was most recent, but I was at the Boulder High prom, and I was doing crystal ball readings, and it was really fun for me because the kids, are getting ready to graduate. And so I get to do crystal ball readings and tell them about the exciting things that are coming for them in the future. And they really are. They're just so excited about, graduating and going on, taking the next step, and what's going to happen in their lives. And so I'm using the crystal ball to tell them about their relationships and their new adventures and the new friends they're going to make.
That's very cool. Yeah. So Amy, you mentioned package 4 improv seminar. Is that what you?
Workshop. It's a workshop where we also do an improv show together for events. So what it is, it's where the participants can be part of the workshop, and they all get to do different different improv exercises and get to take turns like playing different things on stage, and it's all really fun. And then I end that with a poem created on the spot, or sometimes I start with a poem created on the spot, just depends on the thing. And then when we do our improv show, we end with the improv poetrygram celebrating whatever they're celebrating.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah, it's just really fun because everyone can improv. Like just last night we were at a chamber event, and this lady's like, I cannot improv. I'm like, oh, did you plan that whole speech? The whole conversation before? I'm like, she's like, no. I'm like, you just improv. Like we improv in our everyday life, but we're so taught, oh, you can't do that. That it makes like, whoa, I can't do that. But everyone can do that. I think the great thing about improv too, or improv workshops for businesses, is it helps people to become a better part of the team. It helps people to become better with customer service because you realize, I got this. Improv helps teach you, I got this. And it's really fun to play too. So
yeah, it probably is a big confidence builder.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because Greg used to be an improver, and now he is. He is a great improver. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not saying like he's not confident, but it's something that it's a new skill that you're just like, yeah, I could do this. And so if you're in this situation of like, oh, what should I do? Like, go to improv. Okay, I got this. So.
Yeah. Very cool. So for local businesses, for people listening, how could chamber members or other local businesses incorporate a touch of magic and poetry into their next event?
Absolutely. So they can have, it depends. There's a bunch of different things. One thing is that I can do a poem for the whole group. And people can talk about what they love about the business, things that are cool. And then I create a poem on the spot about that. I also can do poems for, small groups of the guests and do some roving and stuff like that. Or if they want to, do some team building or work on, sales and stuff, we can do an improv workshop. And Greg.
Yeah. Lots of different ways. So companies that are doing a corporate dinner or maybe a corporate picnic, and they want to have some entertainment for their employees. That's very popular for for me to go to those events. But I can also be at their trade show booth, as Amy had mentioned earlier, and either doing balloon animals or doing magic to draw people into their booth. Businesses that are that want to bring children in can really rely on magic. You know, if you're doing an event, an open house or something, and you're publicizing that you're putting that out to the public, you can say, you know, and you're trying to bring families with kids, letting people know that there's going to be a magician there is always a big draw.
Yeah, great.
And at the big events, Greg can either do a stage show or he could do like roving.
Okay, awesome.
They can have to rove together, or Greg can do the big show. I can rove. It's just all different things.
Yeah,
so it's
just a really cool partnership that you guys have for sure. Yeah, it seems very complimentary.
Oh, thanks. It's all if they want to have more fun. I mean, of course, it's going to be fun no matter what they do. But if you want to like up the fun level, then
yeah.
So
why do you believe that creative arts and entertainment are important or could be important for a community like Westminster?
Yeah, I think the creative arts are a way to bring people together and allow people to express themselves. Or, you know, when Amy does poetry, you know, she'll ask people what they want a poem about. And really what that's about is asking them what's important to you. You know, what's important in your life, what gets you excited. And it really gives people a chance to first express themselves and then to hear their passions and their excitement reflected back to them.
And, you know, when Greg does magic, people get to that shared experience of, I don't know how he did that, you know, and they get to go, whoa, you know, did you see that? I couldn't believe it, you know, and they get to share the amazement together. And Greg a lot of times says it brings back the childish wonder, which we all have, but sometimes we forget. So,
yeah, we forget all the time, I think.
And that's what I think it helps a lot. Bringing community and stuff. So.
Definitely. Well, we have a question from Parker. He's wondering about your price ranges. So I think it probably depends on packages and things like that. What can you share with us about that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it is pretty flexible. I can say, you know, when I work doing children's birthday parties, I'm priced in the range like maybe $300 to $400, depending on, you know, how long and what you're requesting. When I work for grown-up audiences, again, if I'm going to be doing the big show at the end of the dinner, that might be around, you know, $1,200 for a 45-minute show. If I'm doing the mix and mingle magic during the cocktail hour, like $450 for the first hour and then $225 for each additional hour.
Awesome.
Those are kind of ballpark figures though, because it really depends on the size of the audience and, you know.
Yeah, no, that's helpful. Thank you. Yeah.
And then for my poetry grams, they're normally $395, but if you're connected with the chamber, I'm doing a special for now. That's $295.
Oh, great.
If you're local. Like it's more if you're like in Breckenridge. And I don't know how long that I'll be doing that special. And then also, so if I'm doing like the mix and mingle, it's $495 for the first hour and $200 to $250 for each additional hour, just depending on your location. And improv workshops start at $495 for like an hour and 15 minutes. And improv shows just depend on how many people are there.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Well, we are about out of time. I don't know if you guys want to be put on the spot and give us a little example of anything or.
We're ready.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Jamie, I brought some playing cards with me today, just 6 playing cards.
Okay.
And this will be a piece of magic that I'll do just for you.
All right.
Now, 2 of those cards are jokers. You can see that. The other 4 cards are queens. So I have the Queen of Clubs, the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Spades, the Queen of Diamonds, but not necessarily in that order. Oh, and the queens will stay, they'll stay backs towards you until we get to the end. You'll have to trust me about the queens part until we get there. But from here on out, Jamie, you get to make all of the decisions.
Okay.
And your most important decision will be the first decision, because I want you to name a queen out loud. You could say clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. Before you do that, I'm going to warn you that the Queen of Hearts is the most common queen named.
Okay.
You can still name it, but I wanted you to know that I know other people have chosen it.
I'm going to go with clubs.
Clubs. Okay. So your job will be to eliminate 3 of the 4 queens. And well, let's do it this way. I'll count them off. This will be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And you just tell me which queen do you want to eliminate first? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
3.
Number 3. 1, 2, 3. This one right here. And I will just set that right there for now. All right. Make a second elimination. This time 1, 2, or 3.
3 again.
3 again. This one on the end. And one final elimination. Queen number 1, queen number 2.
1.
Queen number 1. It's interesting, Jamie. It's interesting that you saved this queen for the end, because you asked for which queen?
The club.
The clubs. And if you hadn't, we would not have found your queen of clubs.
Awesome.
But I will tell you, it's these queens that bother me the most. Because you remember I said at the beginning, naming the queen, that would be your most important decision. Well, if you had named the Queen of Hearts, or even the spades or the diamonds, this would not have worked. It wouldn't have worked because, Jamie, I didn't bring any other queens with me this
Oh
morning.
my gosh. That's great. I love that. That's and like a good trick for like over this format too. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, during the pandemic, I had to adjust my repertoire so I could perform virtually.
Yeah. Awesome.
Do we have time for a poem?
Of course. Yeah, let's keep going.
So what would you like the poem about? It could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be a bunch of unrelated ideas. It is up to you.
Okay, let's do a poem about community.
Okay. And is there any random word or phrase you'd like to throw in that has nothing, not an opposite of community, but like bubblegum, something you normally don't talk about when you talk about community?
Okay, let's do, well, it's raining again, so let's do rain.
Got it. Anything else? Is that good?
What was that?
Anything else, or is that good?
Yeah, let's just do a start there.
And would you like with thee, thou, thine, Shakespeare, more modern with and the?
More modern.
You got it. Okie dokes. So when you are ready, on the count of 3, say bring on the poem. Bring on the poem on the count of 3. And it could be dramatic or deadpan or anywhere in the middle. It is your time to shine. Bring on the poem. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Bring on the poem.
Awesome. Here we go. Sometimes at the moment I feel alone, and this is not something I want to encourage. I want to bemoan. So instead I go outside of my comfort zone, and then I see there's all these amazing people in this community. People whose eyes sparkle and they shine when they say things in their heart they feel is amazing and so sublime. When they talk about things that make them just so excited too. And when you listen to them, your mind just goes ashoo. But whatever you do that is passion in the here and now, It's when you get to talk to someone else about it that brings us all around and community and has the heart to have the greatest of wow. So let's all join hands and go across this Westminster lands and go out for a walk in the rain and realize this is beautiful. It is not insane because we are all together. We are one. And that is how we can have deep, fun, community, amazing, and go for a run, because this is how we're meant to be. We're meant to be a Westminster community.
Yay! So good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both. That was awesome. And it was a really good preview, I think, for anyone who hasn't had a chance to watch you perform. So,
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks
super
for having us.
yeah. Well, I'm excited to keep working with you guys. We've got a lot going on at the chamber that I think we can partner with you on. And so people can look forward to that. And how can people get a hold of you if they're interested in booking you?
So you can go to my website. It is
Thank you.
astonishingproductions.com.
All right.
And
sounds
I'm
good.
at improvpoet.com, or you could just reach out to us as well. Can we give your phone numbers, or should we not do that?
Totally up to you.
I'll do 720-323-7610 and 720. Oh, do you want that? 720. This is a test.
206.
8231. Memorize people's numbers.
All right, we got all of those in our chat, so people can, or in the comments, and so people can access those. But thank you both so much for coming on today. This was a lot of fun to get to know you better and more about your business and hear you perform. So really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks so much for having us. It was fun.
Yeah, of course. All right, well, everybody, thanks for joining, and have a good rest of your week. Bye, everybody.